This is the new show. It's not the old show. This is the new show. It's not the old show.
Hello, everybody. No Sunbeam to fight this week. Yay! I didn't hear from any of you as to what you wanted to be called, so we'll just still refer to you as the voiceless mass of humans, I suppose. I don't know. I've thought of a few things to talk about. Some of you reached out about your genuine interest learning about octopi, so I thought, what else do I know about ocean animals? So that'll come up in a minute. As of late, in the past month or so, I've been going to swing dance. Do you all remember that in the 90s? And while we don't do what was in the Gap ad, no jumps and no tossing, there's far too many people, and we don't want to drop anybody. It looks something a little bit more like this. I by no means am at that level yet. I'm still learning. I do the class that is called Six Step. It's a kickball change with a three-step kickball change, and you do that in open or close position. If you know dance, you know what open and close is. If you don't, open is your partner's further away, close is your partner's closer to you. We're also learning a turn. It's fairly simple in the beginning, which is good. I'm liking it. It's fun. I am having to go to Fresno for those of you that live in the greater Tulare, Fresno, Bakersfield area. It is something I hope to continue. It's just a place to enjoy. And what is really nice is it is very welcoming and everybody is very kind and gentle. During the class, there are usually 3 to 4 instructors in the class, and there tend to be more guys than there are women, and there are more female instructors. So, if you're dancing with a lady who happens to be an instructor, she will give you tips on how to do something better. I'm very loose on my holding hand when it comes to closed position. I've learned to get better when you hold hands. And so I've learned to do that better. I just want to be a little looser because most of my dance history has been in ballet and modern, and that's more loosey-goosey. In this, you have to be a little bit more rigid, which I'm not used to. And so I had to learn that. There has been a guy lead, and he's there to assist the learning follows as well. And you don't have to be a lady to be a follow, and you don't have to be a man to be a lead. Just typically speaking, that is what it has been at these classes. But they're that open and inclusive that does not have to be such. And like in closed position, your hand is mid-back, and they are very mindful of how they say. Now, gentlemen, the best way to find this is, there's a certain undergarment, and if you find the middle of that specific undergarment and that band, that's a good place to have your hand. They never say the exact undergarment. They're very smart. And ladies, if you're not comfortable with it being on that, or if you need it higher, lower, whatever, you're welcome to tell your partner to adjust. And it's wonderfully beautiful about that. And the same is true in social dance, because you do an hour of the class, and then there's an hour of social. You don't have to stay for the social, but it's included, and I typically stay. And anybody can ask anybody to dance, and anybody is welcome to say no. The social dance starts with a snowball, so 2 people go out on the dance floor, somebody calls snowball, those 2 people break off, they ask somebody to dance. The idea in snowball is everybody gets out on the dance floor, so that's kind of the only time that, I'm not saying can't say no, but generally everyone says yes during that time. And then after that, it kind of breaks out into more couples dancing, and you're welcome to ask people to dance. And, it's just there for fun. Okay, so since you enjoyed the facts about octopi last week, I thought, hey, I'd hit you off with a fun and simple ocean fact, because I love the ocean. I love learning about the ocean. I gotta get this right so I can do my blippity bloop. So, anglerfish. Oh, this way. Anglerfish. We can do this. Anglerfish. Right there. They don't look very nice, but I promise they fit in like the palm of your hand. Most of them would be no bigger than like to fit in here. And that's the female, because the females are larger. You probably won't see a male. They latch onto the female. They do what they need to do to make more anglerfish. They become vestigial, which means they just hang on to, like, they do what they do. They pass away. They remain a part of the female anglerfish. And life goes on. That's an interesting fact. Yes? No? Maybe so? I don't know. Another interesting fact. Your bones are wet. Think about that. Your bones are wet. Are you grossed out? Because maybe you should be, because your bones are wet. And we all know Rosa Parks would not give up her seat on the bus, right? Yay, Rosa Parks. Yes, yay, Rosa Parks. However, before her, Claudette Colvin would not give up her seat. However, she was a young mother, 15, and was decided that maybe using her as the rallying point was not the wisest, given that she was a young mother and a few other aspects. But yeah. Another thing I thought of is I really enjoy music, and I thought, what if I shared with you a musical recommendation a week? Now, if I played a whole song on here, my channel and this video would get demonetized. Not that I'm making any money, but it wouldn't make upload, and I want these to, get uploaded and get noticed, and at least some people watch them, even if it's just like 10 of y'all. It's something. So I'm going to make a link in the comment of this song, and then each week I'll recommend to you a song. And then, if you like it, you can let me know, and if you don't, oh well. So this week is going to be... It's going to be Wondering Why by the Red Clay Strays. Preferably the live edition or a live edition. If you find the album edition, it's just as good, but I prefer a live edition, especially on the Western AF YouTube channel. But any live edition is great, or any edition is good. It's a recent band I learned about. Not local, I almost said local. A recent band I've learned about, or I've learned about them recently. And so I thought I'd share that. Okay. I'd like to hear some more ideas. I haven't heard any. Believe it or not, I have another video coming out tomorrow, y'all. This one's already shot, edited, and ready to come out tomorrow. So be prepared for that. I'll let y'all know when it's ready to be viewed. And yeah, all right, we'll see you next week. Hope you enjoy. Bye.